Hello, welcome to Swapping Joysticks. It is the 13th of October 2022, and we are your hosts. I'm Ben Ostwick, and I'm joined by...
Me?
You, Ed.
Ed Nightingale, in the same room.
We are in the same room for the first time. Well, not for the first time ever.
Am I allowed to drink now?
You can drink, yeah. I was literally unmuting, and he goes... I'm like, no, that's okay. We're going to get that at the beginning of the... I mean, I think...
What?
I had a seed in my mouth from... Probably one of the tomatoes that you cooked. But yeah, that was... I was going to say that for later. But yeah, we are in the same room for the first time ever recording this podcast. This is so weird.
Look at the lovely Kallax behind us.
We have looking now, because we are sat here, because the Kallax is quite thin, the fact that we're either side, you get to see the Kallax properly in the middle.
That's true.
Yeah, including Pikachu riding a corgi.
We do need some more lights on that though. We will sort that.
We are sharing a microphone. If this doesn't really work too well, we do have an alternative where Ed can just plug his in. But we are testing a couple of things out. This is still a bit of a work in progress. Yeah, maybe this is just a filming trick. Maybe he's actually in another place and I'm just kind of like superimposing him. No, I can... Okay.
But careful.
Oh dear, I don't want to knock you...
Spill the tea.
Well, we will be spilling the tea.
Oh.
Oh no. We're not Trixie and Katya, we're not there yet.
Get it down, podcast, but not yours.
Yes. But yeah, we can put the microphone a little... Oh, sorry about the noise here. But we can put the microphone a bit nearer if we need to. Or whatever. Yeah.
I can lean.
Yeah, you just have to enunciate, Ed.
As do you.
Yeah.
Your northern accent.
That's true. But yeah, we are no longer split the screen.
No, definitely not.
Because there's no screen splitting here.
No.
And we are going to be playing a bit of the Star Wars game later on.
The Star Wars game.
And yes.
Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star Wars, the Sky Wanking Saga. And that's going to be... Because we're going to be playing co-op. Because we tried to play co-op with a Steam Cloud Link thing. And it didn't really work. But now we're in the same place. We can actually play it. And also, I've just seen a message. Ed's really tiny.
No, Taunt says, Ed is not really tiny, Ben's just got a big head, and that is the correct answer.
No, Ed is just far away. It's very, very far away.
No, we are definitely next to each other, and also my chair is as high as it'll go.
Yeah. And mine's as low as it'll go. No, it isn't, but it is quite a high chair.
I'll sit up.
But yeah, this is the new look swapping joysticks, and...
Oh, I'm also sat on a pillow.
He is sat on a pillow as well, yeah. It's got a booster seat like you get at Pizza Hut. That'll lifts him up a bit. But yeah, so this is going to be the new look for swapping joysticks. But we have another new look potentially starting next week, don't we?
Do we?
Yeah. Try.
Oh, we definitely doing that?
Well, definitely next week.
Oh, well, maybe.
Well, that was it.
It's not been confirmed yet.
Well, I'm going to confirm it now.
Okay.
Next week, we're doing the podcast on Sunday evening.
Wow.
Yeah. There are quite a lot of events that happen on Tuesday and on Thursday evenings. So we're going to be doing it on Sunday evening. And back in the day when I was doing a podcast called Click, Click, Play.
Called what?
Click, Click, Play.
What's that?
It was a right-wing gaming podcast.
Some shit.
Yeah, and then
shut down.
And before that, there was one called Pretty Flycast, which I thought was a great name.
That's a terrible name.
Well, they were both on Sunday evenings, and they were really popular. Like lots of people would tune in and be like, "It's the Sunday evening thing to do." So we're gonna test that out next week because we're busy on the Thursday, so we're gonna do it on the Sunday. At the end of my normal afternoon stream, we'll do it and see how that goes.
I did have a thought, but I didn't tell you this.
Go on, give me that thought.
If we do it on Sunday, now that the battery has arrived for your Wii U, we could use that as a start of the Wind Waker co-op stream.
There we go.
Which would be a nice chilled thing to do on a Sunday afternoon.
That can be our thing.
Me watching you play Zelda will not be chill, but that might be a nice, fun, pleasant thing to do on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
/ evening.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to be doing next Sunday. Wind Waker HD on the Wii U.
As long as your Wii U works.
Yeah, I mean, I do have the battery. It did arrive yesterday, and I haven't plugged it in yet. If it doesn't work and it's the whole slab or whatever it is that's broken, I'll just buy a Wii U Pro controller. I mean, you can get like a knockoff one for about £20, so I might just do that.
Don't get a knockoff.
You can't buy actual official Wii U Pro controllers. Well, and also, but I mean, if people do miss, then you know that on a Monday morning when you're really tired and you're really bleary-eyed going to work, you can be like, oh my God, swapping joysticks was last night. Let me go and put this on a Monday morning to, cheer me up with some filth.
Is that going to wake you up?
It'll give you a bit of filth in your ears. By the way, I do have a video.
That's what we all want on a Monday morning.
I do have a video of Ed saying something. In fact, shall we play it now? Because you can hear it as well at the same time.
No, I don't wish to hear it.
What?
No.
No? Okay, well, I'm going to add a few clips of it to my stream deck, and you can tune in on Sunday, and you'll be able to hear those sound clips from, on there.
Sure.
So, this is Swapping Joysticks. It is a LGBTQIA gaming podcast.
Indeed.
You wouldn't believe it. But so let's go and talk about games that we've been playing.
What have you been playing this week?
Oh, I don't know really. What have you been playing?
Well, we've both been playing Unpacking
Oh.
in real life.
Yeah,
and it's an ongoing game that is still happening because someone's not very good at finishing it.
How dare you? I'm great at finishing. Actually, I do take a while. But because we haven't had a podcast for 2 weeks now. But yeah, 2 weeks ago I was living down the road in a shared apartment with people I didn't really like. Well, I didn't really know. The landlord, I sent him a message about 5 days ago asking about my deposit back, and he's read it and not replied. So
really?
That'll be fun to chase up.
Wow, how dare.
Fucking landlords. Honestly. Yeah.
Pete says, I did hope you'd live stream the Unpacking and let chat pick where to put stuff as if we were playing Unpacking. No.
Did you watch Ed playing Unpacking?
Oh no.
No.
This was decided between both of us, kind of.
What, the Kallax?
Yeah.
Well, I actually
did some
played
stuff.
I put the Pikachu riding the corgi.
And I'm very happy about that.
I do need to change the top because I had to take a picture of that thing over there is a
You changed it.
yeah, so do you want to go and fix it? But now I need to put it back. I was taking a picture and it was a clean flat surface. But that is an Xbox One Scorn controller for the game Scorn, which I think is out today or out this week. And I'm I don't know if I will play it. Maybe if I am going to play a horror game this year, it's going to be, or this October, it's going to be Scorn. Give that a go. But it was very, very kind of them to send me that Xbox controller because it's one of the brand new Xbox controllers. It's got the share button on it. I know. Very lucky.
Wibble, the RGB lights exist, but we don't have the colour changing thing.
Yeah, technically
which is coming.
The lights that you can see behind are all RGB. They're Philips Hue lights, but we need the Philips. This is very exciting. The Philips Hue bridge, and the bridge is coming. Well, I'm going to tell you a very boring story. I ordered the Hue bridge because that's what you need apparently to connect them all, and then I realised about 2 days later that they were actually like 2 weeks away from being sent. So I just went on John Lewis and found it and was like, okay, I'll just buy them. But I went back to Amazon and realised I'd paid half price. So I went and cancelled my John Lewis order. So they are going to come in a while, but they will be almost half price. So bargain.
You are not wrong, Money.
You've only heard it 3 times. Oh, I got my money back from John Lewis this morning while I was in the shower.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Ah.
Oh, good.
So yeah, don't worry, we will have nice lights up there, and I will be every now and again when I get like a bit extra money. I'm like, oh, I'll just go and buy another Philips Hue random addition. Eventually, we'll have the whole house controlled by Alexa and Philips Hue.
No, we will not.
We will be able to say
that bitch is not listening into our conversations.
You've got iPhones; they're all listening in.
Alexa can piss off.
Wait, Alexa, turn off the lights. So I want anybody that's listening.
You want to be able to do that.
Yeah, no, and I also want everybody listening,
Sure.
not on headphones, to have their lights turned off.
Sure. Also, with that thing, does that mean that chat can control the lights?
There are options of making it so that, you can redeem channel points to change the colour of the lights. Alexa, go to biggerspenners.com/merch and buy everything.
Alexa, play a fart sound.
I can't wait, because here we're going to have a beautiful painting of the Rona Lisa.
No, we are absolutely not having that.
It's either that or the cushion.
Neither. We're not having your artwork in this house.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
How dare you? I thought you liked putting your partner's artwork up.
Oh! Oh!
What have you been playing, Ed?
The absolute shade.
What have you been playing?
Well, after all that, we haven't really had a huge amount of time to play any games this week. But I have played some more Horizon Forbidden West.
Now, when I streamed the other day, I left you in there. I was like, okay, you go enjoy your little game. A little pat on the head. Okay, you enjoy your game. And every time, you sat down and, were you playing Horizon at the start? Maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, you were playing Horizon Forbidden West, and I kept going in after every hour and a half or so to refill my drink, and I was like, are you enjoying it? And every time I went in, you're like, no. The next time, no, it's terrible. And it just came to get worse and worse every time I went in.
I mean, it's not a good game. That's the problem. And it's disappointing because I really liked the first Horizon game, and it's flawed because it came out at the same time as Breath of the Wild. And this was the comparison that everyone made. Breath of the Wild is so open, you can go anywhere, do anything. And Horizon was very much the pinnacle of that Ubisoft open world style game of climbing towers and ticking things off a map. And we're now however many years later, and Forbidden West is the same but worse. Like, they haven't learned from their mistakes. They've just made the same game again. It's got all the same problems. Just the way she interacts with the environment is weird. The combat just is not as satisfying as it should be. There's this weird magnetism between enemies and Aloy that they just hit her no matter what, which is just really frustrating. There are too many options. There's too much stuff. There's too much to collect. There's too much on the map. It just feels really bloated, and like they're just trying to stuff as much content into this game as possible, and it doesn't need it. And the worst thing about it is the story and the characterization of Aloy, because the story is really unnecessary. The first game was a complete story. That's all that was needed. And the problem is, thanks, Moni. Someone doesn't like to share.
You turn to the microphone.
Well, I don't want to be talking at you the whole time. I'm trying to talk to chat. Yeah, the story's really unnecessary because the first game was complete in itself, and now they've had to sort of undo that to extend it into a new game, into a sequel, and it just doesn't really work. It's not grabbing me, and Aloy is an absolute cunt. Like, she's a horrible, horrible person. And in the first game, I really liked her. She was really iconic, and she had that sort of naivety about learning about the world, which you were also learning as you played through the game. And with this new one, she's just such an entitled bitch. And she just is very much like, excuse me, everyone, I'm the special one. I am the chosen one. I'm on a really special mission. So can you all just fuck off and get out of my way and do what I tell you to do, please? and people are just trying to like live their life in this world, and she's like, no, I'm gonna blow up your home and force you to do what I tell you to do. Like, she's a bitch. She's an absolute bitch, and it completely ruins the character because, like, she was great in the first game, and now they've just fucked her up in this game, and I don't like playing as her, and it's ruined it.
But
Anyway, that was a rant.
But you're gonna play it to completion, aren't you?
Yeah, I've started it, so I'll finish it.
Yeah. But you don't have to.
No, I do. I want to know how it ends. I want to know if the story gets any better. I want to know if Aloy dies at the end. I'd like her to.
Wow. Yeah, just have her, someone else take her child or something, take her place, if she has one. Yeah, I mean, there's so many games I want to play, and that one is... It was quite high on the list. Like when Elden Ring came out, I was like, okay, I'll play as much of Elden Ring as I want to, then I'm going to switch to that. I even bought it. Like I physically actually bought that, and I still haven't played it yet. So
I mean, I feel bad because you bought that for us, and you bought it at £70 full price, and now I'm playing it, and I'm like, I don't like it.
But I'll play it eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I do need to... Oh, it's about the time of year where I play my Death Stranding playthrough again, so yeah. Which we have a beautiful art book behind here.
Yes, we do. That's the one thing that is good about that game.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so that sounds exciting. Have you been playing anything else?
I have been playing a little bit more Mario and Rabbids. I played it on stream. I'm going to continue it off stream. I really like it, but I'm yet to finish it yet. I just started the third world, which is the haunted one, which I hear is where it gets really hard. So
There are difficult bits in it. Wait, haunted. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no, the third world. Sorry, yeah, no. I'm thinking of a different game.
Yes, no. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Make a decision.
Is it World 3?
Yes, World 3, the haunted one. Is that?
I never got that far. I didn't even finish the first world.
Oh my god! You said to me that the third world was the hardest.
Yeah, because that's what I read.
Oh, not from personal experience.
No.
Oh, it's the last time I believe anything you told me.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm on the third world. Apparently, it's hard.
Third world. It's very hard. Yeah.
But I am really, really enjoying it. So I will definitely keep playing that.
It is a good game. And how are you enjoying Luigi's Mansion?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I've played it before. So it's my second time playing through it, and I'm not bothering with all the extras. I'm just sort of playing through the main game, but it's fucking brilliant. Genuinely, it's one of my favourite Switch games. It still is. It's brilliant. I absolutely love that game. If anyone hasn't played Luigi's Mansion 3 and has a Switch, you absolutely need to play it. It's just... I'm playing it because it sort of matches with Halloween, but it's just a very cutesy horror game.
Okay.
But not really horror, to be honest.
No, it's a horror. Although there is a shout out. There is a clip. So I'm trying to do a shout. Just testing things work. Yeah, it does. There's a clip of me where a spider falls down around the back of a film set that made me jump.
Oh yes, there are a lot of spiders in the game, which I don't appreciate.
Yeah, I like that one. I really like the film set one. I think that's my favourite level.
It is a great level. I really like the castle one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I won't spoil too much because there are some people that haven't played it yet and need to. But it's honestly, it's a really, really wonderful game, and it's a nice game to play in October because it's Halloween month, but it's something that's sort of horror themed but not scary. So it's just a really fun game.
Indeed. Well, I've been playing a game called DORFROMANTIK. I think that's how do you pronounce it?
No, I think that's right.
Yeah, how is it?
DORFROMANTIK.
DORFROMANTIK. On Switch, because it's finally out on Switch. And yeah, it's great. I have no idea really what I'm doing. I'm like matching tiles. I need to play more than like 3 games that I have. And it's good fun. It is a city building game, but it's a city building game without all the management bollocks.
It's more of a village building game, I'd say.
It is a village people game. Because you can make like a big field. Yeah, exactly. The DORFROMANTIK. Yeah, DORFROMANTIK. It's a city building, village building game, or just map building game. But yeah, you don't have all that pain with kind of traffic management or where do you pump the sewage out or anything like that. It's a puzzle game. You get given a set of tiles. You have to kind of match certain number of, if you create a wooded area, for example, that's over 12 tiles, like large, or 12, has 12 sides to it. When you're adding all these hexagons together, then you'll get another bunch of tiles added to the amount that you've already got. So the purpose of the game is to try and complete these little mini challenges in while you're placing these tiles down, so that you keep getting more and more tiles. And yep, they've got some like train. There's like a train tile. There's a house tile. There's water tiles, lake tiles. It's all the different kind of biomes,
All
fields,
the tiles.
all the tiles.
So is it a city building game or is it a puzzle game?
It's a city building puzzle game.
Sure.
You build. It is a.
Because chat are definitely disagreeing with you and saying it's a puzzle game, and I'm inclined to agree with chat.
You are building cities as a puzzle. You're building a map puzzle game. You can have a city building puzzle game. It's like saying is I don't know, is Destiny sci-fi or is it a first person shooter?
Sci-fi's not a genre; it's a style.
It's a genre.
It's not.
Sci-fi is a genre.
Yeah, but it's not a game genre.
I like my sci-fi games. Mass Effect.
Well, that's an RPG.
Yeah, it can be both.
Destiny's a shooter.
It can be both. Catan is a city builder. It's a map builder then, if we want to be pedantic. Right. So,
Did you like it?
did I like what?
DORFROMANTIK.
I've only played a couple of games. Yeah. It's all right. I'll play more of it and find out.
Great review.
I played it for 10 minutes, finished a game, and was like, okay, that's cool. I'm not quite sure how people manage to stream it for hours on end, but good for them.
Because I think a lot of people in chat have already played it. So how does it play on the Switch? Are you controlling it? Is it touchscreen? Does it run well? Does it look nice?
As far as I'm aware, it's not touchscreen. It gave me the instructions with the controller, and it's fine. Yeah, I don't have any problems. I'm getting a bit faster with it because you use like the directional pad to zoom in and turn the camera around, and place whatever tiles with the joysticks. But yeah, that is fine. With the controller, there's no real issues.
Cool. Have you been playing anything else?
Have I? Oh, Overwatch.
There you go.
So, yesterday, I downloaded Overwatch 2 on my PlayStation 5. Now, I've not played Overwatch
Sorry, your PlayStation 5?
on my hard drive inside your PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And I haven't played Overwatch on a controller since the beta of the original. It's been that long. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to load it up. I'll play as the character I enjoy playing as on PC, which is Zenyatta. Sits at the back playing with his balls. And I was like, okay, we'll give it a go. And I went into a match. You were a little bit curious as I was playing, so you sat down next to me. And
curious.
Oh, yes. Lo and behold, I got play of the game.
I think it was fluke, but...
You sat there, you were stunned, weren't you? As the healer, I got play of the game.
That's not impossible.
No, it's very unlikely. You have to have a lot of skill for that.
Sure.
And then I played another match, and we destroyed the opponents in the second match as well. So I am on a bit of a winning streak with Overwatch. But actually, I was quite surprised how well it plays with the controller. It's because it's not a typical kind of Call of Duty, Destiny, where you have to be really precise about where you're shooting. So it's a lot. There are certain characters that are more tactical than others. So I played as Zenyatta, who I'm kind of sending buffs and debuffs, buffs to my team, debuffs to the other team. And then kind of just fire. You do kind of fire things, but I think auto aim and stuff is quite generous on there. But yeah, it plays really, really well on PS5. I haven't delved into the battle pass and the cosmetics and stuff because I just quite like the feel of shooting and playing matches in that game, and that's all that really matters.
Everyone's asking if you were playing against bots.
No, apparently they don't have bots. Apparently bots don't. And somebody like came in, people were going into the chat, which I ignored. So
Fair enough. And I will vouch and say that I did see it happen. I did see the play of the game clip. So you put that neck away, wind your neck in. I will concur and say I did see it.
yes, and I've also posted it on my secret Twitter account.
That is true. You did.
There
you go.
Which nobody knows about.
Yeah, as Shrek mentioned, there's been a lot of controversy about Overwatch 2. There's a lot of stuff about phones because you have to have a phone number in order to log in for the whatever authentication. But it doesn't accept prepaid phone numbers, which I think is more of a thing in the US than elsewhere. But they've also been DDoS attacked, so people have been overloading the servers. It's been impossible to get into a game. I think there's been balance issues. There's been a lot of problems with Overwatch 2. And above all of that is the fact that it's an Activision Blizzard game and they're all a bunch of arseholes. Or at least were, or at least are run by an arsehole. So whether you want to support them is up to you.
I'm trying to find the thing so I can post it in here. I see. Oh, thank you to everyone that's secretly following me when they shouldn't. Biggest photo, that's where it is. Let me go and post it in the chat. There you go. That's the clip in there. But yeah, no, people seem to be very upset. It's like 1.5 on Metacritic.
I mean, people are assholes and they'll just review bomb something to get seen.
Yeah, they will. Oh yeah. But also it's the cosmetics in Overwatch, they look good, but they're really, I don't really care. Because I'll get my character, I will get the cosmetic that I want, and then I couldn't care less about having any other ones. But this battle pass...
You need something to keep you playing, because otherwise there's no reason to play. So you need some sort of battle pass, or things to unlock.
1.5 on MC is pretty decent. I'm not sure what that is.
Metacritic.
Oh, 1.5. Yes. That's what I've just said.
Literally what you were talking about.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about my... I thought that's what my kill-death ratio was. You're wrong for that. There's been some amazing... Oh, yeah, we were looking at some of the cosmetics. They did look good, but, like, I don't want to change... I don't care about cosmetics. I don't want to change it all. It's not like Final Fantasy XIV, where it's constantly a fashion show, which I showed you my characters, my various slut wear.
Your twink outfits.
My twink outfits, yeah. I'm channeling my inner twink. But Swezzle, by the way, says it's just DLC for Overwatch, right? Change my mind. I think you're right. And I've read that Overwatch, they said something like you wouldn't need to pay to unlock any characters, or you wouldn't have to pay for any further things in the game. So they were like, well, okay, we're going to release a second game, but make it out as though it's DLC. Release a second game, but pretend it isn't DLC. Because, you're absolutely right. It pretty much is DLC and...
I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming, right? Isn't there like a single player mode or mission mode that's
next
coming
year.
later?
Yeah.
So that will add to it, but it's definitely like I feel like they've released it early to try and get people in and playing before they then start adding more to it. So it becomes that live service game of... It's not really Overwatch 2, it's just this is what Overwatch is now, but it's a live service game and they will keep adding to it. So I'm sure it will evolve more in future. It's just getting the basics in now.
Yeah. You can unlock new characters. They are on the free battle pass track, but I think you have to get... I think they're like at level... I don't know what level it is. It's quite far in. But you do get daily quests. I do love a game that's like 3 daily quests. Although I think that, I think they give you like various quests, and the daily quests are like to complete 3 of them to get like a maximum number of XP. I did 2 yesterday, and then I think we had dinner. But I think it is a game that I'll quite happily sit and play 3 games per day. Just chill in the evening and just play a few games and then go to bed because it's...
Dabble.
I will dabble. It's one of those games you can quickly pick up, play a few games. You might get a little bit... You might lose all 3. Doesn't really matter. You're not playing ranked. You're not caring that much. I was playing on casual.
Oh, I would care.
Yeah.
I would get very angry if I wasn't winning.
Okay.
But then that's me in anything.
Yeah. And you know what? The battle pass, to unlock the premium battle pass, it's like £8 and £9. and it goes on for 2 months. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I'm going to play it a lot.
2 months, is that it?
Yeah, it's like 55. There's 54 days left, which is actually the same number of days left on the Destiny Battle Pass. I tried to play a little bit of Destiny yesterday, and I just can't be bothered. Yeah, I know. Destiny. I keep wanting to get back into it, and maybe when the next expansion comes, I might play the campaign of it. But it's just I've lost all enthusiasm for it. The story just doesn't it. The story's so convoluted, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Shall we see what people on Discord have been playing?
Go on then. What have the Dixordians been playing?
Well, get it up.
Well, what about the... Here we go.
Can I also make a suggestion that the mic isn't behind us, so we can talk there?
There you go. But you have to get close to it. Get closer.
Well, can you not angle it?
It doesn't make any difference with the angle. It's this. Watch out! You're wheeling over my. Dear me.
Well, I don't really like talking like this.
Well, here you go. Come a bit closer.
Do I have to?
Pretend you like me. There we go. Do you know 1 year ago tomorrow is the first time we met?
Sadly.
Wow. Harsh. So, now you look really short, don't you?
I do look very short.
There you go. Is that better?
Much better.
Oh. Go on then. What have people been playing? And thank you, by the way, for the subs and the gift subs. You're all very kind. So, go on then.
Well, Mr. Millhill has been playing World of Warcraft again. The premise for the next expansion might be the most boring one yet, and I actually love it. We are going to the home of dragons to explore. There's no new end of the world threat looming. Last expansion, we literally went to the afterlife to fight for the souls of the people. Before that, it was World War III in Azeroth, with a side of the actual planet dying, and before that, the demon army invading, and so on and so on. It feels nice to try something a bit lighter for a change. That's fair in an MMO.
Yeah, although maybe it's a trick. Maybe it's sometimes you're not sure what's going on, what's going in when you're going into an expansion, and then you might be like, wow, it might just throw something at you that you're not expecting.
There we go. Speaking of Overwatch 2, Helios.
We're just reading the words in bold. Is very kindly highlighted the words to say.
Well, we'll skim into some of the other bits, but the new heroes are really good, so that's a good plus.
Yeah, I haven't played the new heroes yet. I just played Zenyatta because that's all I play as.
Your favourite. The change to 5v5 from 6v6 makes the game more dynamic.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Yeah. So it means that as a very good Overwatch player, then my contribution means more.
Sure. But it also puts a lot more stress on the support role because you can't just chill in the back anymore. So you have to actually do something now, Ben.
And I did, which is why I got play of the game.
Sure. The new Battle Pass system is a big downgrade from the previous cosmetic loot boxes they had.
And they were bad.
Yeah. You can literally play 30 plus games and only unlock one single emote. That's not ideal.
No. You alright though?
Yeah, we're just in the way. This is awkward.
We need to get some Herman Miller chairs.
Please buy some. Thanks.
Or stools.
Putting new hero unlocks on the end of the Battle Pass means grinding the game for 30 to 50 hours just to unlock new heroes. I mean, that does sound like a pain.
Yeah, I mean, you just get the premium one. Don't be so tight.
What do you mean
The
there's
premium
different battle
pass.
passes?
Yeah, there's the free one and then the premium one.
So what do you get in the premium one?
Every level you unlock something.
Something. One thing.
A skin or a spray or a emblem or a voice line or something. Yeah.
Oh, it gives you 20% XP boost as well.
Okay, yeah.
So that's good.
But they did announce today, actually. Did you see what they've announced?
Oh, they're doing some double XP weekends.
They're doing double XP weekend. They said, well, they kind of addressed what's happened in a weird way. They said, something like, we know we're a big bag of shit, but... Oh, here we go. When Overwatch 2 launch is bumpy, you make it up to players. How do you think they could make it up to the players, Ed? Here's a test.
Double XP and some sort of cosmetic.
Double XP week match weekends. Yes, you get a special cosmetic of Cursed Captain Reaper.
Great.
And also a special weapon charm, which is a health pack that you can attach to your guns.
That no one's going to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand charms.
That's such a waste of time.
But, you know, it's better than nothing, and we should be very grateful and thankful for them doing that.
Because it's a free game.
No.
Well, hopefully they stop abusing people in the process of making it.
Oh, let's hope so.
Let's hope.
Mm.
Moon Princess has been playing a bit of a mix of things. Dreamlight Valley. And yes, we have the update. Confirmed now. Pokemon Shield, where I've been riding a bike in circles, hoping to hatch a shiny Wooloo. Mood. And I started running Ocarina of Time randomizers again. You're always doing randomizers, Moon Princess. I feel like I should try that at some point.
You should. Maybe you should do a randomizer when you play through Breath of the Wild.
I mean, it's already pretty random.
What about if we say you've got to then go to a shrine on the furthest end of the map?
That's going to stress me out.
Yeah, which is what we want. We enjoy watching you stressed out. This
I
is one of the
don't
most
like being stressed.
one of your
It
most
just comes naturally.
one of your most popular streams was you playing Unpacking, and I don't think we've ever seen anyone as stressed as you were then.
Well, now you've got me doing it in real life.
Yeah, that's true.
Unlucky. Jackie, I recently got hooked on Lego Tower on my phone. It's pretty much Tiny Tower or Tiny Death Star, but Lego themed. I played Tiny Tower, but I don't think I played Tiny Death Star, and now I want to.
What's Tiny Tower?
Well, you move minifigures into your tower, give them jobs in little businesses based on Lego sets, and collect minifigure parts to customize your residence. It's a fun little time waster that I tootle around with when I have some free time. Basically, you build a tower, and each layer of the tower has like different functions within the tower. So it's kind of like, it's like a city builder, but it's a puzzle game, but it's made of Lego.
What's free time?
Oh, I don't know. No clue. Pancake's been playing Coral Island, as have a lot of people. It's of course Stardew adjacent, but it's really completely its own. I still have so much to discover, but I love it so much so far. It's huge. Ooh, we love it when it's huge. I've not been able to explore the whole map yet. Some things I absolutely love. The preset skin tones have more dark than light colours. Very nice. And you can customise to literally any colour you want. Also, they have an honorific picker where you can choose from the preset options of Mr., Ms., or how do you pronounce MX?
Mix.
Mix.
Muck. Yeah.
Or you can add your
Scottish.
own custom honorific, which is very, very cool. The game is so diverse and inclusive, and I can't wait to play more and get a better feel for the mechanics and story. I've heard lots of positive things about how diverse it is, how inclusive it is, and I really, really want to try out the character creator.
What honorific would you have?
Well, I saw this because it's included in the announcement trailer, and they had Lord, and I quite liked that.
Yeah, I was gonna have Your Grace, or His Excellency. His Excellent.
His biggest.
His biggest. His biggest.
His biggest?
Yeah.
So,
But I might play that on Sunday. I might be playing Coral Island on Sunday on stream.
Ooh. There you go. It's on Game Pass as well.
There you go. Is it already out, like, for everybody then to play?
No, so it's in early access. They haven't said when the full release is going to be yet, but they have a full roadmap of updates planned. And when they release it, there will be a whole Merfolk update and expansion to go with it.
Lovely.
And they're working on accessibility options and loads of other stuff. But it's in early access. You can buy it on Steam, or you can play it now on PC Game Pass, but not Xbox.
Go play it.
There you go. Westman's playing Chivalry 2. Wanted to play it for a long time, but didn't want to pay 40 USD for it. But I've played the shit out of it now because it's free on Game Pass. It's very smooth and yet goofy in its playstyle, and I love standing in the back as an archer while trying to snipe the enemy archers. Perfect game when you just want to have fun with minimal usage of your brain. Sounds like a you game.
So, I bought it and haven't played it, and now it's on Game Pass.
Obviously.
No, I got a very, very kind birthday gift of some money, and it was on offer, so I bought it. But it looks really good. Haven't played it.
Great.
But it does seem like, you know, Mordhau? Have you ever played Mordhau?
I've heard of it.
I mean, that's like a game where it's just kind of huge open warfare, two teams against each other, kind of medieval-ish style, but usually the chat is full of slurs and hate, and it's one of the worst places on the internet for that kind of stuff. Whereas Chivalry sounds kind of similar, but a bit goofier, and hopefully with less hate in the chat.
We can but hope.
Yeah.
Amanda's been playing Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. Finished 2 cases so far. Overall, I really like it. It's a really detailed mystery game that's not point and click. It really leaves it down to you, the player, to solve the mysteries, and it's possible to get it wrong. Interesting. But after you lock in your decisions, you can't go back and change anything. How does that alter the story then? Because that sounds interesting.
Just arrest everybody.
All that. There's definitely more thinking and deduction coupled with moral decisions. A really interesting game so far, and I can't wait to keep playing it. I watched Amanda play some of this on stream, and it looked very stressful.
It's not the same Sherlock Holmes game that I played, is it?
I'm not sure.
Was it 3D?
Because you started... Yes, it was 3D.
Was it the
But
one
you had one with a young Sherlock.
Yeah.
And in this one, he's not young.
Oh, okay. What was I playing? Game. I played... Oh, it was like chapter 1... Sherlock... Was it just called Sherlock Holmes, maybe? Sherlock Holmes chapter 1.
Yes, that's what you played, because it's a young Sherlock.
Yeah. That was it.
There you go. Moni has finally finished Cult of the Lamb. So congratulations to Moni in chat, please. BB and love. Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done.
I was, to be fair, very proud of Moni when she finally beat the final boss. It took long enough.
Yeah.
But you did it, and I'm proud of you.
Took it how many streams was Money fighting the final boss?
How many weeks?
2?
Yeah.
3?
About that.
Yeah.
2 or 3. But Moni is now playing Wonder Song. And it's such a charming little game.
Wonder Song.
Wonder Song. Not Wonder Song.
Wonder.
Wonder.
Yeah.
You're a little bard who needs to save the world by learning some songs, and nobody thought you had it in you.
No, you're bad. You're a little bad.
Shush. You need to mimic your opponent's singing, most like a Wheel of Fortune kind of thing. I didn't expect much from it initially and just thought the graphics were cute, but the writing is amazing and it's really good fun. Potentially, after a while, it could get a bit annoying because obviously when you're singing with that wheel, it's a bit of a sound mess. Or I'm just the mess, which seems more likely. Yes, Moni, yes. But it's not an auditory joy to it. It's not the worst, but over a long time I can see it becoming potentially a bit annoying. But it's otherwise really fun, and the graphics are still cute, simple but adorable. Now, I have played some Wonder Song, because Wonder Song is the game that the Chicory devs made before Chicory. And
is it more exciting?
Is it more exciting? Wonder Song? Honestly.
Do you have to create your instruments as well?
So, as Moni explained, it's a bard who sings, but it's like a sort of coloured wheel, and each direction is a different note. And so in Chicory, it's all about creativity through painting and through painting the world. And Wonder Song is all about creativity through singing. And so you can basically experiment and play all the different notes to like make your own tunes and stuff. But you use it to solve puzzles. And I'm pretty sure it's got, like Chicory, I think the bard might be non-binary, which is like the dog in Chicory. And also there are some really strong themes of mental health in it. So it's a really, really lovely game.
It sounds great, and it sounds like that they've actually bothered to put the colour in themselves this time, and you don't have to do it yourself. So it already sounds more interesting. Speaking of non-binary animals, there is apparently a cat who was named after you, Ed, that Gemma has.
Called Little Ed.
Called Little Ed.
It was a Big Ed. It was Big Ed.
Big Ed, yeah.
Big Ed the cat.
How is Big Ed?
You'll have to ask Gemma.
Big Ed is a lady cat.
Well, why did you say non-binary then?
I guess, it's changed. We didn't know. Maybe it's just not sure. We don't want to be assigning labels.
Yeah.
What's the next one then we've been playing? Oh, and Little Ben, that's right. Although isn't Little Ben way bigger than Big Ed?
Yeah.
Bigot. Just what's your cat called? Bigot. Yeah, it's horrible. It's really homophobic. It hates gay people. Yeah. All right.
I think Moni's might have been the last one. Or is there more? You have to scroll.
No, there is more. Yeah. Here we go. Yes. Pete.
Pete says, I belatedly realised my old 360 can play old Xbox games, and I've had a hankering to play SSX3 and Burnout 3 and relive my childhood for years, so I bought them from CX and they're just as good as I remember.
Sex.
What do you say? Sex?
Sex. I always say sex.
I definitely say CEX.
Sex.
It's computer exchange. It's an acronym.
Yeah, an acronym, sex. An acronym is you pronouncing the word as it said, like NASA. Do you mean an initialization?
Oh, don't get technical with me, Mr. English language teacher.
If it's an acronym, it's sex. Have you been into sex?
I'm never into sex.
I know, I think.
But computer exchange, I really like.
Oh, God.
I'm really into computers and exchanging.
What a nerd.
I've never played SSX, but I've heard very good things about it. And I played a little bit of Burnout, and that's much more my kind of racing game because it's more arcadey.
I preferred cool borders.
Oh, see, I was more 1080 snowboarding.
No,
on the N64.
No, I never had an Nintendo 64. What's Wibble played?
You don't have to sound so disheartened about it.
Oh, go on. Let's talk about what he's been playing.
Wibble has played and finished Beacon Pines. It's a wonderfully crafted, slightly weird story-based game / experience. Also has a really nice musical score to emphasise key events in the game. Best of all, it's on Game Pass, PC. Very nice.
That's
I've
Beacon,
heard-
not
I've heard-
Bacon.
No, Beacon. Beacon Pines. I've heard really good things about that, actually. Maybe we should give it a go.
Yeah. Torn says, I'm playing DBD.
When is Torn not playing DBD? That's more the question.
Yeah. I remember I played DBD for a little bit. It was quite fun. There you go. I wouldn't go back to it. What games... Well, what's been happening in the news, Eduardio?
Why don't you get it up and then we can have a look?
And the news?
Yep.
Right.
Well,
Oh, this is... I love this. Yeah, you sit up, get your posture right, get your back in order. You will not be diving into any ball pits anytime soon, will you?
well, speaking of ball pits,
Don't
why
look
I
at
go
me.
a little bit lower.
All right, okay.
And then we can turn. See, that's better.
That's what I call it, the
We need
ball pit.
The ball pit. Let's not call it the ball pit. Last weekend was TwitchCon San Diego. And it sounds like it was not as good as TwitchCon Amsterdam because we weren't there.
Guess we weren't there.
But there has been some good things and a lot of bad things, and a lot of controversy. First of which was this Lenovo sponge pit. Cesspit, which was clearly not deep enough and not safe and had not been checked. And a lot of people were very injured. The main one being Adriana Chechik, who managed to break her back in 2 places.
So it was two people. Yeah, there was. It was like gladiator style, where they stand on 2 like podiums, slightly raised, and they have to whack. You know, the 2 people, whoever they were whacking each other, and the winner is the one that manages to stay on the podium while the other one falls into the pit. And yeah, Adriana Chechik, I'm not sure, won and celebrated by jumping off into the ball pit, which the foam pit, and you'd expect, that's a foam pit, that's gonna be great and comfy. And she hit a butt right on. Well, she
landed on a coccyx.
She did, and it broke her back in 2 places.
Yeah.
And apparently she's got like a lot of numbness. She just tweeted today that she can't go to the bathroom without a catheter right now.
Well, she had to have a meter rod put in.
Yeah.
There was literally concrete. The floor was literally concrete, and the sponge was just not protective. And it's just shocking that this was not checked properly. And the thing is that she wasn't the only one. Somebody else sprained their ankle, or hurt their knee. Someone else sprained their ankle. And this was open for 2 days. And people were injured on the first one, and they didn't think to change it or close it. And there are videos around on social media of this all happening, which are incredibly uncomfortable to watch. But yeah, this is the main headline thing basically from TwitchCon, and rather than it being, look how wonderful our streamers are, or look how great the drag showcase was, or whatever else. This is what people are talking about because it's just, as Gemma says, cruel, uncaring idiots. And what's worse is the people running the stall would or the stand were kind of joking about it at the time. They're like, "Oh, she's fine," and like clearly trying to downplay it, and just did not take her seriously when she literally cannot move. It's just a really, really awful thing that has clearly marred the entire event.
I can't believe that they didn't, when they made it, did they not look at that and go, well, that's obviously way too narrow. People are going to dive into it. It just beggars belief that they didn't even think to that. And I know you probably won't comment on this, but there's a website called Dexerto, who I've had issues with before. So I called out Asmongold for saying that he wouldn't take part in the day off Twitch to support people from minority backgrounds who are getting hate raided. And literally like the same day they call, or the day after or something, they had an interview with him calling him like the bad boy of Twitch, even though he's done nothing wrong and all this stuff. And it's a website that just sucks up to massive streamers so that these massive streamers will give them likes and retweets, and they get lots of traffic from people, from these massive streamers who they rim the arseholes off and then get lots of traffic. That's all they run off. And yeah, they posted an article because Adriana Chechik used to be an adult entertainer. They made an incredibly misogynistic and offensive comment about the accident. Deleted it quite quickly, but the internet doesn't forget. We've got screenshots. And the fact that that kind of article and that kind of headline can be written shows like the culture that they've got there, and the fact that anybody even thought that would be okay posting shows that they're not hiring the right people, or they've got a culture of misogyny and hatred towards anybody that is not a cis white dude who plays World of Warcraft or Call of Duty and uses the N-word frequently. Fuck Dexerto.
Does anyone even know how to pronounce it?
Don't need to.
Yeah, just don't talk about it. So that was the big news from TwitchCon San Diego.
Oh, next article, yeah.
Because you can close it and go along.
There you go.
The other news was basically Twitch have responded once again to the whole revenue split, which there was controversy about a few weeks ago when they said that they would not be changing it to 70-30. They're keeping it as 50-50. And there was a long blog post at the time. And if you remember, that was also to cover up...
Just move in, sorry.
No, you go ahead. That was to also somewhat cover up a report about child abuse on Twitch. Then they, at TwitchCon, had a patch notes live. And if you scroll down, because I've forgotten his name. So they had... up, not that far. Thanks. I'll just take the mouse. That's easier. So Twitch's chief monetization officer, Mike Minton.
Minton.
Yeah, I see what they did there.
Yeah. Monetization manager Mike Minton.
There you go.
Otherwise known as M.
So he responded basically to this split and said, we did look at all the possible options. Could we do it? Could we offer 70-30 widely and broadly? And the answer is no. It simply is not viable for Twitch in the long term. And he basically discussed the fact that Twitch is owned by Amazon, and said, people presume, Amazon can just pay for this and put the money in. To which he responded, the thing to understand here is that Amazon expects Twitch to be able to thrive financially as an independent, sustainable business. So he basically surmised, we recognise we're in this together, as in Twitch and streamers. You will have the hard job, yes, of creating amazing, engaging content, building communities, keeping your community safe, and our job is to build the tools that allow you to do that while making more money. Well, how we do that, making more money without that split, I don't know. And what you've just explained definitely is not a fair 50-50 share of the work here. But sure, thanks for that, mate.
But I mean, I can understand that. I can understand that they, Twitch needs to be profitable, obviously, because otherwise Amazon will shut it down. But I can understand that it is costing them quite a lot. because I mean, you've seen what's happening, I believe, in South Korea. The maximum you can watch a resolution at is 720p now because it's so expensive. I think it's a local issue, like a local bandwidth, whatever. So yeah, it's costing them so much. They've had to even limit the limit. I don't know if it's that you broadcast or that you watch. Is it watch Twitch? I think the most you can watch Twitch at in South Korea is 720p. So I mean, I don't want to stand up for Twitch, and I still think 50-50 is ridiculous. But hopefully they'll get to a point where it is a bit cheaper for them, and they can, increase that split because. Yeah, obviously these transcoding options and having the infrastructure that they've got is going to cost quite a bit of money. I'm just hoping very soon that, the prices will eventually make it so that they can make a more generous split. Because obviously Twitch don't really have another option like YouTube has got the whole of Google behind it, and YouTube, I'm guessing they make a lot of money through their videos, but maybe, keeping the videos stored on a server for somebody to watch and stream must be, a lot cheaper than live streaming it and encoding it and various other ways like that. So they've got that they can balance it out with on YouTube. And also there's not as many people, I believe, that stream on there. So, yeah.
There are lots of good points in chat. Helios is saying OnlyFans manages to do an 80-20 split. And that's when credit card companies require extra fees from adult content. Also, obviously, YouTube does 70-30. As Gemma says, they might make more money if they didn't lose millions in lawsuits over the foam pit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to have a 10% split after this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They've discussed that. Also at the patch notes live, I didn't include it in this article, but and I've forgotten her name, but she's basically Twitch's security officer, and they talked a lot or referenced a lot of stuff about hate raids, and admitted how they had not been transparent. And a lot of that was repeating stuff they've already said in the past about not wanting to talk about their safety measures so that people couldn't get around them, which I appreciate. But equally, they admitted that they were not transparent enough with what they talked about. Where are we? Over here. What they also discussed a little bit was around advertising. And Minton was very much pushing this idea of advertising being a way of making money, which, what was it? He said that when streamers regularly hit over 80 concurrent viewers, ad revenue becomes 20 to 25% of total revenue earned on the platform. So he's really trying to push how important advertising is. The problem on the flip side of that is that advertising is incredibly intrusive, I think. I mean, what was ironic to me was I was writing this article whilst rewatching the VOD, and every time I scrolled through it, I kept getting more ads. And I was like, I'm trying to write about your VOD. I'm trying to quote you here, and I can't because there are so many ads. So he did say that they are working to improve the number of ads. And they recognise that the ad economics for smaller streamers is less favourable. It's definitely something that pushes... or is good. Big streamers can make money out of ads, smaller streamers can't, but it's just as intrusive, so they need to work on that. And they are considering skippable ads as well, like you get on YouTube. So yeah.
Well,
hopefully some improvements.
Although today we watched an 8-minute YouTube video during class, Top Gear.
You watched Top Gear?
We watched an 8-minute thing of them racing across London. It was the book that we were using. It was all about this episode of Top Gear, and I was like, well, why don't we just watch the bit that they're talking about? And we did. But anyway, yeah, it was an 8-minute video, and within 1 minute in, there was about 1.5 minutes of ads that were unskippable. And then 3 or 4 minutes later, before the end of this 8-minute video, there were two ads that came up, but they were skippable. I've got YouTube Premium now because I wasn't logged in, so that's why I had ads. But yeah, YouTube Premium, Twitch Turbo, it's worth it. It is worth it.
Yeah, so Pizza the Hut says, I've been getting 6 ads in a row watching some streamers. I've had the same, and that's literally about 3 to 4 minutes of ads. Now, if that's at the very start of a stream, I sort of don't mind because I can just take my time and wait before I then say hello or continue watching. But what's annoying is when you've literally just said something in chat to ask the question, and then the ad pops up just at that moment that you say something, and then you don't get to hear the response for like because you've got 3 minutes of ads. It's just things like that. It's just they're all in at the wrong point. I fully appreciate the need for ads in order to have money. Like I get that, but just put it at a time where it's appropriate and not right in the middle because it's just annoying.
Yeah. And I agree with, honestly, twitch.tv, if you don't know about this, because they don't really advertise it, twitch.tv slash turbo, and you can pay, it's like £9 a month, which is, more than a sub to a channel, but you then get ad-free viewing across the whole website, which I feel like is worth it. The amount of time I spend on Twitch and the amount of people I watch that I'm not subbed to, I pay for that. It's fine.
But interesting. Where does the money for that all go to Twitch then?
Yeah, but I think you also get longer. I think your, I believe it stores more of your past broadcast. Maybe not for partners, because I think partners have 60 days anyway. But I think it doubles it from like 14 days of past broadcast to 30. I believe. I don't know if that's Turbo or Prime, but I think it might be Turbo.
Because that is the thing, is that when you subscribe to a streamer, they're at least getting 50% of the money rather than
60 days, sorry, not 14. So it is quite a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So it can be worth it.
Interesting. Well,
Are you tempted?
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, some more positive news that has happened this week. Square Enix have announced the return of the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival next year.
Wait. We haven't streamed since we went to the concert, have we?
No.
No.
That's true.
What did we do 2 weeks ago?
We went to see Final Fantasy Distant Worlds.
And it was in the distant past now, but it was
distant past.
We got almost a private box.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. For free.
Thank you, Square Enix.
Thank you, Square Enix.
Yes, no, I mean, the Royal Albert Hall, if anyone is in London and you want to go to a concert, try and go to in the Royal Albert Hall, because it is the most beautiful hall. And if you imagine it, it's like a big oval with the stage and the huge organ at one end, and then two other huge organs at the other end. That's where we were.
Wow. You've been very generous to yourself.
Thanks. So we were kind of right in the middle opposite, so perfect view of the orchestra, and they have screens up as well, so it shows like clips from the games. And they basically just went through every Final Fantasy game and played.
Yeah, they did.
And played at least something from every single one.
At the mainline games.
Yeah.
Nothing from X2, I'm afraid.
I will say, I feel like it was imbalanced, because the first half they literally went Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, all the way to 5. And then there was an interval.
Did they not do 6? I think they did 6,
and
right?
then they did 6 in the second half.
Ah.
But the second half was then 6 to 15, i.e. the best ones. But then they didn't do it in chronological
So you
order
get the old
again.
people in
they
chat.
they mixed it all up. Because they know that people want to end with 7 and 10, obviously. So they kind of mixed it all up, it just made it a bit imbalanced, I thought, as a concert structure.
Well, as a concert structure, I quite enjoy that, because when you're going to a concert, the first few songs and stuff, you're enjoying it no matter what they're playing, because you're there. Wow, I'm in this Royal Albert Hall. They're playing some live music. This is great. So, and the music was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't recognize it, even though I had played a bit of Final Fantasy 1. Yeah, that bit they did. But no, the first half, you're kind of enjoying it. You're excited. It's not like a musical where they get all the bangers out in the first half, and the second half's just kind of filler. This one is like the first half, you're just enjoying being there and hearing some live music, and then you have your break, and then it's like all the best stuff comes after the break, and then you leave on a high, which is what I felt.
No, start with the banger, then go down, then end the first half with a banger, then come back in for bangers in the second half. I mean, just banger after banger, that's what I'm after.
Yeah, because I literally looked at the playlist on Spotify, but I think it must have been an old one, because they do Distant World 1, 2, 3, I think the multiple ones. And I think the one that I looked at had the bombing theme as the opener, which would have been a great
That
one.
would have been amazing.
Yeah.
What was your favourite song?
Obviously, to Zanarkand. Oh, Final Fantasy X, everybody knows, is the best Final Fantasy game. And so with this song being a really emotional one when you're going back to your hometown and things have happened to it, and then that starts playing, I got a rather emotion.
Did you?
A little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, no, you didn't notice. I was there bawling my eyes out.
I was too busy listening.
Yeah. Speaking of bawling your eyes out, what did you think to Tsutaki Dane by Ricky? So Final Fantasy X, like the main song, it's played at the end of the credits. Tsutaki Dane, it's a beautiful, beautiful song. It's probably the second most famous song from Final Fantasy X after To Zanarkand, and it's the one that actually has lyrics. And the original singer, Ricky, was there singing it in front of everybody. Like, I remember being obsessed with this song back when it first came out in 2001? Yeah, so, 21 years ago when I was, 3 years old or something. That was one of my favorite. I wasn't. And yeah, and then she performed it.
Well, she tried to.
Yeah.
She tried to perform it, but unfortunately, she's getting on a bit now. And
She's like 40. She's younger than Money.
Wow.
Yeah, you're the one that's calling her getting on a bit.
Well, anyway, she has forgotten the use of her diaphragm and apparently can't hear any of the high notes anymore, so she was incredibly flat.
Oh, Money's not 40.
No, she's not.
Oh. Just very mature for her age.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
Oh. Yeah, no, just you're very mature for your age, Money. Wow. No, that's a lie as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a lie. Anyway, yeah, Ricky was struggling, so it was a lovely song, and she just didn't sing it very well. Sorry, babes.
Oh, it was. I'm like, oh no. Like, it's one of my favourite songs. So you've hit more notes in the entire song just then. Oh, maybe not. Of course, like I'm being there. It's just like, yeah. Yeah, it was.
She was very sweet.
Oh, she was lovely, yeah.
She can't sing.
No.
Sad times.
Disappointing, but it was to be there where the original singer of Tsutaki Dane was there singing at the Royal Albert Hall is something. If anybody says, like, I can boast about it, like, I was in the Royal Albert Hall where Ricky, the original singer of Tsutaki Dane, sang it to us. And that's where the story will stop.
Yeah. I would, if anyone is thinking about going to any of these concerts in the future, I would 100% recommend going if you're a big Final Fantasy fan. I mean, even if you're not, it's a great orchestra playing amazing music.
Didn't we both start feeling a bit sick by the interval?
A little bit, because they have game footage on the screens. But you start to get a little bit motion sick.
Oh, I was feeling really. I had to look away and close my eyes for a bit because the first Final Fantasies, they all kind of look very similar.
They're all top down,
and it was just constantly the character moving around all the time, and that for about 15-20 minutes. Oh,
it was longer than that.
Yeah, I was vomiting.
But it was a very good concert, wasn't it?
It was. We had a nice strawberries and cream ice cream.
Yes, thank you for that.
No problem. Thank you for the box.
You're welcome. But back to the news.
Oh, sorry.
So, Square Enix have announced the return of the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival. I presume there might be a concert as part of it. Maybe.
So there's no singing. Unless it's a... I hope we're here. That would be great.
I'd love that. So, yeah, there is a lot of stuff that goes on at these fan fests. They haven't had one in a couple of years because of COVID and all of that stuff. But it is returning. So it will be next year. There's going to be 3 fan fests. The first one is North America, which is going to be in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Convention Center from the 28th to the 29th of July next year. Then the Europe one is going to be in London.
Woo! I know London.
So do I. At the Excel Center.
Oh, the Formula E place.
Indeed.
And EGX.
Same one. And that will be 21st of October to the 22nd of October. And then there will be one in Japan, TBD, in early 2024. Now, what's interesting about this is that Yoshi P, in an interview with Famitsu, has already said that there will be something substantial to come out of the fan fests, which most people presume will be
COVID.
the Japanese.
Oh. A new COVID variant.
Not this.
The Final Fantasy variant.
Wow. Something substantial related to the games.
Okay.
And people are presuming that it will be the Japanese one because it's Japan. And they're also sort of eyeing up the timing of, will there be an expansion announcement at this? Maybe. So anyway, keep an eye out for tickets. It should be great.
I have played a bit of Final Fantasy 14. I didn't mention it.
Oh. Was it good?
The bit that I played for like 2 hours, and I didn't really enjoy my time playing it for those 2 hours. I was doing the main story quest, and it said like there's going to be some cutscenes in succession. I was like, okay. But for like 2 hours, about 3/4 of it was a cutscene. And the other stuff was like these events where you go in and you've no idea really what you're doing, and they just throw it into you. And it's like, you've got to complete this in 25 minutes. And then if you fail, you have to go right to the very beginning again and skip through all the cutscenes. It's just...
Have you played Final Fantasy 14 before?
Yeah, I have. But I just feel like it's even more... Like this latest expansion so far of what I've played, it seems to be 90% cutscenes.
Sad times.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep playing it, but... And I'm getting into the story. I enjoy what I'm playing of it. It's just... At the moment, I'm just hitting a point where I'm a little bit like, come on, get a move on. Whereas in Shadowbringers, never once had that. Like, that was just... I was addicted to the story, to the mission, of everything I needed to do from start to finish of that. Whereas with this, there's just a little bit too many... There's a few too many cutscenes and dialogue of stuff that I don't really care about. And you're like, oh, great, that's the end of the cutscene. Like, oh, no, there's a brand new story, a set of cutscenes coming up of a different... a different story or a different storyline. So I'm like, oh god, okay, this is... Yeah, there was one point, I think your stream... Well, you said that you were finishing stream at 10. And I
didn't.
No, but it was about 9:30, and it said like there's a lot of cutscenes coming up, and I was like, okay, I'll go and do this. And, the cutscenes, I will start the cutscene, I'll go into the cutscenes at 9:30. They'll have easily finished by the time you finished at 10. And... What time did you finish stream? Like 11:15?
About that.
Yeah, that was when the cutscene finished. I was like, okay, this is like literally... And it had a few little kind of mini games in there as well, but it was just... it was just a bit too much for me.
Well, speaking of Final Fantasy 14, I've also played a bit of it, but it was a couple of weeks ago. And I have finally got my White Mage to the level I need for the MSQ.
Ooh.
So... that means I can finally carry on with Stormblood, and then I can get to Shadowbringers, and then you can play it all over again with me.
I will definitely play Shadowbringers with you. It is probably one of the best Final Fantasy stories since 10.
Well, that's not saying anything. Do you know what? I've seen loads... Sorry, we keep talking about Final Fantasy. There's a thing that's gone around on...
This is a gay gaming podcast. It should just only be Final Fantasy.
All the time. Yes. Final Fantasy. I don't know where that came from.
That is a clip I need to have on my stream deck every time we talk about Final Fantasy.
Good.
Thanks, Lucia.
So, loads of people I've seen on Twitter the last day or so have been doing the tier list of the Final Fantasy games.
10 is top.
It's not. Is that S tier for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's B tier for me. So I think I might actually go through and do
But
one.
the thing is, you're so critical, nothing gets higher than a B tier.
Well, that's true.
I love you. Yeah, Ed's tier list is just like the bottom two. This game I didn't despise.
Wow. Anyway, S tier is 7 and 8. Suck it.
No.
Right, in more news, there was a lot of meta stuff that came out this week about VR. But the big announcement is that Among Us VR is out next month, which means that you can play Among Us all over again, and do it in VR.
Will you do that?
No.
Okay.
Well, the thing is that Among Us blew up in popularity, but I think because it's so easy to access and you can play it on your phone or whatever else, not enough people have VR headsets.
I do.
Well, yeah, we both do, but in general, not enough people have them. Now, it does have crossplay across the MetaQuest, the Rift, across Steam, so you can use whatever, but I just don't feel like enough people have access to a VR headset to make this as popular as they think it might be.
I think Moni should get one. People should get them. We should have like a VR evening, not on stream or anything like that, maybe eventually, but just a bunch of us play something like, what is the one, Werewolves Within?
Right.
Do you know what that game is?
No.
Do you know Werewolf? Mafia?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. But you play that in VR and it looks good fun. All right, are you watching yourself on stream?
No, I was just replying to Moni on chat.
Wow.
Kingdom Hearts fans, there was going to be a Kingdom Hearts TV series, an animated series, which never happened. But its proposed director has now uploaded to YouTube. Basically, I can't remember what they call it, but it's like a sort of pilot anima something. It's like a storyboard, basically, of what it would have been like. And it's a full animation of Kingdom Hearts. Whether it would have made sense is another story entirely.
I mean, it wouldn't.
No, because it's Kingdom Hearts. But if people are interested, there is an animation out there. You can go watch about that.
Try Blood on the Clock Tower. It's Werewolf 2.0, apparently. Phasmophobia. I have played Phasmophobia in VR, and it was terrifying, and I crouched on the floor.
You do that anyway. Earlier today...
You wrote an article. Here we go. He's got an article. News by Ed Nightingale, news reporter. What have you written, Ed? Do you want to post the link in chat so you get some more clicks?
Maybe I will now for that sarcasm.
Okay, do it.
Wow. I'm just doing my job.
But Gemma says, I could never do Phasmophobia in VR. I would piss everywhere.
Again, doesn't that happen everywhere anyway?
Happens with age.
Yeah. Earlier today... Xbox had their accessibility showcase, which should happen more often by more companies. Are you listening?
No, something like accessibility showcase that should
Honestly, Xbox accessibility showcase. They had it today. It was presented by Steve Saylor, content creator and accessibility advocate, and they basically talked a lot about. Sort of celebrating accessibility options on Xbox and the community, and other bits and pieces. It was 40 minutes. It was very worthwhile watching. But one sort of big announcement from it is that Xbox is expanding its Microsoft Gaming Accessibility Testing Service, which is a very fancy name. But essentially, it just means that Xbox already have this service, where developers can get their games tested to see how accessible they are. And they are now expanding that with a series of testers from the disabled community, who will now be available to test devs' games and play through them and then give them feedback on how accessible they are. So it's going to give a really big boost to improving accessibility in games, at least on Xbox, but that might then feed into the rest of the industry as well. So... hooray for accessibility. There needs to be more of that. And it's great that Xbox are really pushing that.
Exactly. Xbox are, the industry leaders when it comes to that.
Indeed. A couple of other final bits.
Ooh.
Disney Dreamlight Valley, which I know a lot of people in chat are enjoying.
Yeah, I enjoyed what I played. It was good.
Yep. We now have a release date for the first bit of post-launch content, which is Wednesday the 19th of October. And that's when they are finally adding Scar from The Lion King, who's your favourite.
Yes.
And what does he sing?
Fools! Be prepared.
Just like that. There you go. So 19th of October for Disney fans is your next update.
Yes, it has.
And then lastly, is just this weird story that I thought I'd throw in, which is that researchers have basically taught a series of lab-grown brain cells how to play Pong.
Yeah, they've moved on from Call of Duty and now they're playing Pong.
Indeed. They got a load of brain cells and they grew them and created a brain, and then they connected it to a computer and it learned how to play Pong.
Can you imagine if you lost to them?
That would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty wild story.
Yeah.
The fact that scientists can actually do this now is wild. And what they're hoping is that actually this will teach them about the way that the brain learns, and it will actually help with Alzheimer's. So actually, it does have sort of real world benefits. But it's just a bit of a weird gamer story of, we've built a brain. What should we do? Let's teach it to play Pong.
Gaming at the forefront.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that was the headlines for this week.
Woohoo! Wow. Well, we have podcasted all we're gonna podcast. So yeah, this is the new look swapping joysticks. What do you think? Did you like it as one? Do you like it? I think I prefer this.
Do you?
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
It means you have to sit next to me.
It does. We need to work on mic placement and chair placement.
I mean, next week then maybe we'll just use your microphone and plug that in, and then we'll have one each.
Sure, we can make that work.
What I need you to do is buy one of these and all the other extra stuff, so that then I can just put them both into the mixer.
So you want 2 lots of all of this?
No, just get the Rode. You can actually get the Shure SM7B or whatever USB mic. I think that's good. How much are lapel mics? Oh God, I would love that. I would love that.
Can
just
we get
sitting
Britney
back.
mics?
No. We haven't just here.
No, I want a Britney mic.
No, you need a lapel. You need to look like we're part of like an Apple event, and we can put a. Oh my God, we need a lapel mic, bean bags, and we just sat there chatting.
What do you think this is? TwitchCon?
Yes. Get McDonald's headsets. No. Oh no, those microphones don't sound that good, but like a lapel mic. Yeah. Well, there we go. We'll look at getting some lapel mics.
Or Britney mics.
Yeah, Britney mics. Oh wow. Oh, cheese it. Well, cheese it. You let us know. We will.
Biggest tennis. How was I supposed to know?
Anyway, Ed, where can we find? Well, we can find you, of course, the video. Thanks to Moni for putting these little things here.
I know. Okay, in all seriousness, thank you to Moni for last minute putting this together for us so that we could be together on one screen. And also thank you for putting our tags on and our pronouns, which is something that everyone should do because it's completely normal and everyone should do that.
You are completely normal.
Yes.
It's a lie. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching. If you want to go and watch this, I guess if you want to watch this again, it'll be on youtube.com/swappingjoysticks, or just go to swappingjoysticks.com. Make sure that you subscribe on there, because that's where we're going to put the podcast, and the podcast next week, and potentially for weeks after that, who knows, is going to be on a Sunday evening at 7 p.m.
Interesting. We'll see how that goes down.
Yeah, and I think maybe starting, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, I believe we will be starting... What amazing game, Edward?
The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker.
HD.
HD?
HD. It's better than when
HD?
What? Have you finally learned how to say H now?
HD?
No. H. There's no H. It's H. Say it.
No.
Go on. I've gone into teacher mode. Repeat.
It will be 60 flaps per second.
HD.
HD.
There we go. We're learning. All right. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Stick around because we are going to be playing some Star Trek, The First Frontier, very soon with Connects very, very shortly.
Until then, see you all next week.
Be
Get
there.
swapped.
Get fucked.